Okay, guys, I'm going to let the chat populate a little bit if anybody's interested in watching. This is the third time I'm going to share this. I'm going to share this around real quick. This is the third or fourth video in which we're working on making the nautical bathroom pattern deal for the scroll saw. So let me get this shared around in our places of interest here. Let's see. Nope. Not always as easy as it would appear to be. Okay, let me share it one more place. I don't often share to the community, but I'm we'll throw it in there. Group. Okay, so some of you are in here. Anyway, while I'm working on these, I've been asking if anybody wants to help out with the input or anything on what I'm working on designing. You can just let me know in the comments, the live chat comments or whatever, and I will take your suggestions into consideration. I know Eloy and I can't remember who else it was were a big help when I was doing the dolphin, about adjusting some of the heights of the waves and some of the things like that. It was pretty helpful. So anyway, I'm going to get right back in here to Inkscape and explain what's going on for those of you that haven't seen it. There's going to be 3 panels, horizontal, rectangle, and how it goes is dolphin, sun, sunset on the ocean or whatever, and then this third panel I'm going to work on here. And yes, these are stacked vertically, but they will lay horizontally. And today's the day I'm probably going to put these all together and show you how we print large patterns. But for now, I'm going to work on this one, and I did think about it, and I want to put a sailboat, ship, something like that in there, and I think I found the image that I want to use. So I'm going to import that in, just like we've been doing, but I want to lock this as always, and this was the layer I used as the reference image, so I can delete that now if I unlock it. I'm going to add a new layer, and I'm just going to title this ship. Excuse me. And bring it down. Highlight that layer, and then import. I'm going to import this sailboat reference I found. And then I can drag that, and this is my this is the perimeter, how I want to constrain it inside of this box, because it's the exact same size box as the other ones. So what I've been doing is setting the opacity down for that reference image, and this has a little bit more detail, so I'll keep that a little bit higher. And then I'm going to get this sailboat where I want it, and I think I'm going to want to add some waves in here, so I'm probably going to shrink this down a little bit. And the way to do that is to hold control, grab the arrow here, and just shrink it down, and it keeps it constrained to the same aspect ratio, or however you want to say it. And then just mess around with it till you get the height that you want, or the size that you want. And I think right there is going to be good for me. So I'm going to lock that ship now, and then we'll unlock the dolphin layer, because the dolphin layer is actually my whole drawing layer. It's the layer I've been using to trace upon these reference images and make the lines or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to go right into this. And for this, it's a scroll saw pattern, so I got to figure out a way to cut these out so that we will be able to see through to the colored background image. So I think I'm going to keep these sails separate. Maybe the mast will be a separate cut also, or maybe we can tie them together. And chances are this won't look anything like the original when I'm done. So I'm going to make the boat first, I think. And we're just going to follow the outline of the boat, ignore the people on it. And again, it's just doing what you feel you want to do. And like I said, I know I'm going to have some waves here, so I think I'm just going to add them in as I go, just to save us some time later on. And just follow along the bottom of the boat. And I don't know, this might not look right when I'm done, so we might have to tweak it. But I'm thinking the waves are kind of what I want to do here, so might just keep going with this to make like a horizon or something. Let me think. No, I think I'm going to just go up and follow the bow. I think it's called the bow of the boat. I'm going to just follow this out here. Just keep trekking along here. And then I'm just going to follow the straight of the boat. Just ignoring the people until I get to the back of the boat, which I have no idea. I don't know any nautical terms. I know the names. I've heard the names, but I don't know what they mean. Like port and starboard and stern and bow. I don't know what those mean. I'm pretty sure port and stern are like left and right or something like that. But I don't know. You'd have to let me know in the comments or in the chat what's what, because I am nautical illiterate. Anyway, so we got those drawn, and I'm not gonna tweak anything until I get everything traced that I want traced. So let's go up here to the first mast. See, I do know what a mast is. And we're going to stick with the dual mast here. And since it's a scroll saw look here, I think I'm going to make this a separate cut. So I'm just going to follow this straight up and just trace the mast. And I think I'm going to do the same thing over here. And you'll have to excuse the buzzing. That's my dryer's finishing up a load of laundry. Follow that up. And bring that back down. I think we're going to end up having to widen that. Well, maybe not. Okay, and then I'm just going to trace these triangles. Or the sails, the triangles of the sails. You get what I'm saying. And we'll see how that ends up looking. And we'll get kind of tight close here to the mast. Follow these out, and we'll just hook these back in. Just follow it like that. And do the same here. Just follow the mast over, and I think we're gonna flub this a little bit and cut it short. And go up here and bring it back together. And then just do the same thing on the front and kind of ignore the overlap and just follow that. And we'll We'll follow that curve. Just see how that looks. Okay. So now here comes the judgment call. If we turn off the ship, does it still look like a sailboat? I think it looks like it enough that we can work with it and make it work as a sailboat. So I'll turn that back on, and let's add some of these curves in that were needed. Just drag that over. That. And then I can do thin cuts. So maybe we can do that to separate. And if I just put a line in here, you know, I know that that's just to make a cut. And it's not to cut out a section. It's just to make a, you know, a relief cut or a through cut in the pattern itself. But that doesn't make any sense, does it? Because I'm probably going to cut these out completely. So let's not do that. Let's just leave it as is. Maybe I can... Nope, I'm just going to leave it as it is. I think that's okay. So let's tweak these waves a little bit now. Give them kind of a roundness. And that's control, double click, where you want them to be rounded. Same on all of them. I think it looks okay leaving that one with an edge instead of a curve. Yeah. And then hit the curves on the boat that need to be made. Like here, these need to be curved just so they make sense together. And we'll curve the top so it follows it well. Nope, we don't want to do that one, I guess. Let's select it and make it sharp. And I think that'll look good on their back there. Okay, let's bring this up so it kind of matches the other waves. Ooh. Control Z to undo. And again, you can always go back through and round them. But anyway, that will work for that, I think. And now let's make... How do we want to make the... I'm going to bring the waves out here. Okay, let me go check the chat, see if anybody happened to jump in there, and then I'll get back into this. And I can already tell that wave's going to need fixed. Okay, so TJ from TJ's Woodworking Shop is in the house. The Craigslist Hunter is in the house. So, glad to have you here, TJ. Let's see. Eloy's in here, and he is eating and watching. Eating and watching. That's a good thing to do, eat and watch. Appreciate you watching. So do you guys think that the sailboat, sun, and dolphin kind of fit a nautical theme? Well, it's an ocean sunset. Just got the Ripley part down here, don't forget. Hey, it beats me if the waves are going in the right direction. Do you think I should just ixnay the waves and just keep it flat bottom or rounded bottom? I could try it because I can always go back. I can just control Z and undo that. Let me try it. I will watch for your response, but I'm gonna go ahead and try it because I don't know. I don't know if the waves are going the right way. Let's try. So we'll delete those. And then we can straighten these. I believe that's how you do this. Yep, delete, delete, delete. And then straighten these. And delete, delete, delete. If it'll let me. There we go. Delete. Straighten. And one more. Delete. Select these two and straighten. Okay, so I know back here it was a little wonky looking. So let's maybe curve some of these. Bring them down. And then I wonder if I put like waves out here, if that would do it. Let's see. Let's get rid of the reference. I don't know. I mean, it looks a little cleaner that way. So what if I put the waves behind it? What do you think of that? And have them, you said they're cutting in reverse, so the wave should be going this way, correct? So if I just put wow, that's horrible. I think I can adjust it, huh? So if I would, I mean, I guess those are kind of extreme, but get the point. Nah, I don't like that. I mean, the other, aside, I don't know. None of the designs are super, super intricate. So, I mean, let me see. I think I might just end up keeping this how it is because it's kind of plain and I kind of like it. I got an idea. Let's put some crazy ripples out here. See if that works. Oh, do that. Maybe. And then maybe add in the horizon? Maybe? Because I think that had like a horizon in it. Let's try that. So if I would put it back here. And the dog is whining. So what do you think? Keep the horizon? Remove the horizon? I don't know if I dig the horizon. I mean, if I put a sunset on it or something, that would look right, but then that would be kind of counterintuitive since I already have the sunset. Let's get rid of them. Well, now that I'm looking at it, it kind of does look good with them. Ugh. Aggravating. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with this. So I'm going to tie these three together now. So this is the culmination of all of this craziness. So I'm going to get rid of that reference. Now we're on the dolphin layer, which is actually all the layers. And I do want it to go in the order that I made them, with the sun in the middle. So, but like I said, how this works is it's going to be cut into 3 panels and then placed together to look like a box. So I'm going to select this one and move it over. And I'm actually going to go do this above the canvas so we can see better. It doesn't matter either way. Okay, so the sun in the middle. And then the dolphin. So now how these will work is they're going to butt right up against each other, and the lines will be kind of my reference when I do the larger print. So I want to just butt these completely up against each other. Perfect, just like that. And the same with this one. Okay, now it's off a little bit, so let me get a little bit closer. That will work. Okay, so now I have this 3-panel image, and how it's going to work, I'm thinking, is the relief cuts. I'm not going to highlight them in here. I can do that in well, maybe I should. Nope, I know what I'll do. So what I do is I highlight all of this, and then I'm going to go to export. Obviously I need to save my work first. That'd be probably a good idea. So I'm going to export this as a PNG image, and I have selection ticked, and I'm going to export it to my desktop because that's the easiest place to find it, and I would just call it bathroom, something generic, and it goes as an SVG or a PNG, and then I got it at 400 dots per inch, so that's perfect for what we're doing, and then export it, and it's rather large. Then I'm going to open paint.net, which I don't know if I have a way to do that. Okay, I think I forgot my face was in the way, but over here, this panel here is where you select selection, and then you can export as, and then save as, and then export, and then obviously I have to replace it. But let me set up an OBS real quick, another scene, so I can show you paint.net. Okay, and while it's doing that, I'll just leave this. Okay. Okay, paint.net takes just a little bit to load up for some reason. Okay. Go OBS. Okay, guys, here's paint.net now. So, I'm going to open that image that we just messed with, that we just exported, which is right here. And again, it's rather large. And it does open it just as a PNG file, just like you'd think it would. And let's see here. I'm going to add a layer so we can see it a little bit better and just color it completely white. That'll also help with printing. Oops. Messed that up. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is make the canvas size a little bit larger, just because it's going to make it easier when it comes to printing. Oops. I need to make sure that that is maintains that aspect. So we'll go 8,000. Hit enter and it will resize it, and then that gives me the ability to then drag so those borders are not right on the edges, if that makes sense. And that didn't do it exactly how I wanted. Let me see. Well, that's the strangest thing. Start all over here and try this again. I will just select that. And then we're going to hold shift and move that in a little bit, and that keeps it constrained. There we go. Okay, now we can do the canvas. And we'll make that 8,000. That's a lot better. Now we can move that around a little bit. And then we'll just pop some paint in there. Okay, so we're going to resave this. Or no. I wanted to highlight the cutout areas. I'm sorry. So we'll go back up here and select a light gray color and make it even lighter, because we don't want to run ourselves out of ink. So we're going to cut out this, the inside of that wave, and the inside of this and this. So there it gives you an idea of what color we'll be able to see through. And then on this one, we're going to cut out this, and this. And this line, whoops, must not have a closed line somewhere. Yeah, right there. Let's see. If you don't have a closed line, it won't fill correctly. Okay, so let me select that again. There we go. Okay, so that'll be the relief cuts in that. And then again, I'm going to paint that back panel so it kind of reflects that image, so it looks decent. And then over here on the sailboat, I'm going to cut out this one, and this one, and the mast, one, and the sailboat. And again, this I think I'm going to do just like I'm going to do with the sunset on the other one, and make sure the background is painted decently to match the theme. Okay, and again, select that color, the fill bucket, fill these in, and I think that pretty well does it for making the patterns now. And I hope some people are watching, because this is one of the probably the coolest parts about this. I use a program. I'm gonna probably have to pop up my display here. Okay, bear with me for a second. I use a program called Posterizer, and it's free. You can just Google it and you'll be able to find it. Great program though. Now I'm going to go back to paint.net, and we're going to export this just like we did before, or save as is what it is in paint.net. But I want to save it with these grays, showing. So we're going to save it as a JPEG file this time, and just save it as bathroom 2. Save it whatever you want. I'm going to save it as bathroom 2. Yeah, okay, and then go through that. And it's a rather large file for an image. Okay, so we'll open back up. I hope you guys can see this. Yes, of course you can. Okay, so we're on Posterizer. Let me get out of all this. And we're going to open that image that we just saved, the second one that's colored in. And just follow the prompts next. I'm not sure yet if I want it to be portrait or landscape. I want to see how it lays out in the next window here. I always do the bottom right cut, because if I change it, I'll forget and I'll cut it on the wrong side. So that would give us two 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper right there. So that would give you roughly 16 inches wide, is how wide our panel would be. I do want it a little bit wider than that, so you can increase it, the width, to say 3 pages. So I know that would give me roughly between 21 maybe and 24 inches. That's 2 feet. And that would give me 8, 4, 32. That's getting me closer to my 3 feet. And that gives me close to a foot. Not super close, but closer to a foot than farther. So I think I'm going to go with this. Now we could go back and look. We'll see what it would look like in landscape. And that's just the orientation of the papers, the way it would print. Again, the bottom right cut. And if that's 4 pages, that would be, 11-ish inches wide, because it's landscape. So it'd be 44 inches roughly, minus the the edges there. So 40 inches maybe. Which is nice. It's a little bit over, but a little bit taller than I want. So I think we're just going to go with portrait. And then you just hit next. And then you can save the poster. And then I can just save it to the desk as enlarged bathroom. It'll save and it will automatically open up, and I hope you guys can see that. It'll automatically open up, and then it prints each page as a separate. The whole PDF prints as that pattern, as we were looking at it, how it was split up in Posterizer. So each one of these pages in the PDF is what prints here. And lining them up isn't as bad as you would think. I thought it was pretty rough maybe the first 1 or 2 times I did it. But after you've done it once or twice, it's pretty easy to figure out. And what you'll do is, when you get the paper, or once it prints out, you'll cut the right side off and the bottom off of each page. And that overlap we made was like a fraction of an inch, like a quarter of an inch, I think. Well, about a little over that, I guess. But you can set your overlapping size, but it's always set the same to me for that 3937 inches, and that works perfect. So that is how I get those enlarged patterns printed. Now the next step is going to be getting these on a piece of wood, a large enough piece of wood, which will probably be plywood. It's going to be painted white. And then I will I'll make a video of me doing all that. It's because I haven't figured out a way to live stream, because I don't have the shop is in an outbuilding, so it's a little bit farther out. And there's really no way for me to get to the live stream from there unless I use my 3G connection on my phone, and that would not be all that great. I'm hoping to get hardwired Ethernet out there eventually, but Probably not soon enough that I want to get this as soon as I want to get this done. So probably this week I'm going to work on it. I might be able to pop in and do a little here and there, maybe on Facebook, on our Facebook page or whatever, to kind of give an update of what's going on, or on Instagram. So hopefully this will all go off without a hitch. I can get the background painted, and this will be this next week's project, and I can get it hung in the bathroom and move on to some other projects. But I do want to know if these live streams we've been doing, or I've been doing, I guess, if you like them. Is it neat to see behind the scenes, see what we're working on, and get an idea of what we do when we're not making the videos. I have some other ideas of some stuff I'd like to live stream, but I want to see how these do first, because I don't want to annoy people. If it's useful and informative, that's great, or entertaining, or whatever, however you view it, that's fine. I'd like to know, so let me know in the comments or in the chat. And yeah, I just want to thank you guys for watching, as you always do, and I'll see you in the next video.